Well, China has an in-depth system using great firewalls and strict control over any and all public discussion to keep a lid on dissent. Residents' attempts of defiance and protests have been shut down and made near impossible to document.
Early morning in Shenzhen, and there was a sense the system was bracing. At first, we watched them from afar. Factory workers, hundreds perhaps, out together on strike. In China, it is rare to capture scenes like these. Protest is normally swiftly shut down. Rare, brave defiance in a system designed to silence. Videos from inside show the start and the scale. Much of the production here has shifted abroad, leaving workers with fewer hours and take-home that doesn't cover their costs. Round the corner, they told us what the impact has been. There's a sense it's barely survivable. It's impossible, she says. How can you survive in Shenzhen on a wage of £100 or £200 a month? The factory's exploitation is unbearable. It's very difficult. Last month, my wages were only £200.
It's important to emphasise just how unusual something like this is in China, and everybody here is taking a risk by being here. It says something quite stark about how desperate they consider their situation to be.
The authorities did not want us to film this, but once we got close, the protesters clearly did. But we could barely steady our cameras before this.
Wait. Hey, wait.
Stop. Okay, all right. Please, please, stop. Stop, please.
We weren't physically harmed, but our camera was seized. We were forced into cars and driven away. China does not want its dissent to be seen. But if protest here is hard to document, hard to catch, crucially, it is not actually uncommon. These are just a handful of hundreds of incidents in just the last few months. In fact, data collected by research group China Dissent Monitor shows that protests touched every corner of this country. There were at least 4,861 in just the first 11 months of last year. And there's been a dramatic increase in the number recorded, up 48% on the same period in 2024. And the motivations? Well, 85% of the thousands charted have been about economic grievances. But most evidence is quickly scrubbed by an army of censors. It's accounts like this that preserve it, downloading and republishing on platforms the censors can't reach. The man who runs it is in hiding in Europe.
The economic downturn has led to social instability, which has led to the government's desire to impose more control over society, which then has led to more discontent in the population. Expressing dissatisfaction openly is a thing hidden under a kind of red terror. Most people don't dare to talk about their situation or their thoughts.
It means that overtly political protest is more risky and more rare. This outpouring of anger at COVID restrictions, the most famous recent example. But in a system where stability is paramount, any gathering has the potential to spiral. All are seen as a threat.
The Chinese people are very, very knowledgeable about their own country and like how it works when it comes to politics. And they know that this Communist Party has complete control. People are careful in what they say publicly to not link this to the central government in many cases. But that doesn't mean that that's the same as trusting the central government.
This from the summer is a perfect example. What started as a small protest about bullying in schools spiraled into anger at authorities. There are millions in China who don't recognize this. They're prosperous with no reason to protest. But this system does not want you to see the exceptions, even though they're increasingly there. Helen Ann Smith, Sky News in Shenzhen.